I'd like to call upon the subconscious, please.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Can we do a body scan and see what's happening to her body today?
She's deeply relaxed. She did the 15-minute meditation earlier today, and we've released any tension that she had in the body. She had tension in the shoulders, which was released earlier, so she's now relaxed.
Mm-hmm. What was causing her to have the tension in her shoulders when she did have it?
When she works, she tends to, when she doesn't know something, she um, tenses up her shoulders. Because that's where she holds when she's not sure about something, that's where she holds it, and she forgets to release it and not hold it there, even though she knows what she is supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. What would you like her to do or notice the next time she is doing this?
That she doesn't need to worry about what she's doing. She has everything that she needs at her fingertips, and that the information just flows out, and she doesn't have to carry it around because it's not serving her.
Beautiful. Thank you. Will you be able to give her some sort of sign or nudge potentially when you notice she's starting to do this again to her body?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Would you like her to be able to focus on having a new routine of just having beautiful relaxation and no tension in the body?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like me to know about her body?
No, everything's going well in her body.
Mm-hmm. Does she have any heavy metals in her body?
Yes, she does. We can remove that from her now.
Where did she get those from?
Um, the consumption of food. Um, she's been carrying it around for a while.
What sort of, can you advise me of what type of food it is that she had that gave her these?
Animal products. Some meats that she has consumed that didn't serve her. The animal was carrying those heavy metals, and then that transmuted to her, and she's been carrying it around since.
Can you tell me how the animals have that heavy metal in the first place?
It's the food that they're being fed, so they pump them up with a lot of chemicals, and so these chemicals have heavy metals, and that's what they consume. Everything's mixed in to the animals, and then when the humans eat them, it gets passed down onto them.
Mm-hmm. What does it do to the animal for the animal to have the heavy metals in their system?
Um, guess it doesn't allow them to act like animals, like they're not happy. It's like that dumbs them down, retards them. Um, Even though they're high vibrational beings, um, it seems like it's dense. They get denser when these chemicals go into their body.
Is it part of the life contract for the animals to have this?
Yes.
And what does it help and serve?
They are serving by being here for humanity. They're bringing in the light, even though they know that they're going to suffer a denser existence. So they've decided to be here for that.
And the significance of them having the heavy metals as part of their life contract, how can you help me understand that?
Well, they feel like they have taken the brunt of these heavy metals, so they don't get given to the humans directly. So they have chosen to have these
Mm-hmm. And
and therefore be the source of meat for the humans.
mm-hmm. But when they are transferring the heavy metals into the humans, I'm just trying to understand the significance of all of this.
Um, so they're trying to help out, I guess, in that way.
Mm-hmm. And so, how does it impact people? How does it impact her to have those heavy metals in her system? What was going on for her?
Yes, she's taken on it feels like she's taken on the torch for the animals, and she just keeps them there with her, um, instead of releasing it and transmuting it when it no longer serves her.
Okay, so it wasn't impacting her.
Um, no.
Okay, well, thank you. And is this different from, say, what people call nanotechnology, these heavy metals?
Well, it works the same way, but it affects people differently.
Mm-hmm. Does she have any nanotechnology in her system?
She does, but she doesn't affect her.
Mm-hmm. And how did she get that?
By going into offices and shopping centers, where she mixes in with different types of people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so what was it designed to do to her body?
Slow her down, produce barriers with the connections to her teams, but she, they don't work on her.
Fantastic. And so this is the reason why you can remove them from her as well today.
Yes.
If she didn't have this session, how would she be able to remove this technology, even though it doesn't impact her in any way? If she was wanting to, without a session, what could you tell her she could do?
She could infuse the water that she's drinking to release any nano technology from her body. I know she does infuse the water to release anything that no longer serves her,
Fantastic.
but she just needed to hear it in a session in order to it be released.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like us to know about her body today?
Um, just to keep looking after it and to eat more live foods and continue to infuse the water and have as much as you can. As it keeps clear of any density.
Fantastic. So, on average, how much water would you recommend that she drinks?
Probably about 4 of those big bottles that she has.
Mm-hmm. Would they be just less than a liter?
About 4 liters.
Okay. Okay. So I was just thinking about her container being 1 liter, if that you wanted her to drink 4 of those.
Mm.
Okay.
At a minute, 4. She can do about 8 though, but being mindful that she'll need to run to the toilet for every time and release
Mm-hmm.
any that she accumulates.
Every time she does go to the bathroom to release, would that be a great time to remind her just to see if there is any tension in the body that she is carrying accidentally?
Yes. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you. Well, drink away then. Is there any problems with having too much water? Is that an issue?
We don't see it being an issue now.
Mm-hmm. Could it be an issue for others?
Well, they're not gonna be able to drown themselves with it, but the more that they can handle, the better.
Mm-hmm. I have heard people warn others about drinking too much water because you start losing electrolytes or salts in the systems or something else. Can you see that impacting people? And if so, what would that look like for them or feel like for them?
Well, you can always be replenished. You're constantly eating different foods and nourishing yourself, so everything gets constantly replenished. You can't drink um, too much water for you to be depleted. That can never happen.
Do you feel like that was disinformation then?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Well, it's out there, it's contagious. So thank you very much for that clarification. I have some questions today about the purpose of this planet. What was the original purpose of Earth?
The purpose was for higher beings to come here and experience a 3D lifestyle. So having a body and it's different to being a high dimensional being. So they used to be used to come here and experience 3D living. So it would have been like a vacation for the vehicles that wanted to experience what it would be like to have a body and to have limitations.
Mm. And was there any other purposes for Earth?
Well, people were supposed to have different things that they needed to experience, like a 5D living that they were going to be able to use different. They were supposed to upgrade to 5D and be able to use different skill sets that they had. So they were going to be able to um, move things with their minds and be telepathic with use telepathy. But they weren't able to lift their vibration high enough to do that because they got stuck with looping thoughts and looping. They couldn't get themselves out of a 3D mindset into the fourth and fifth that they were supposed to be at.
Mhm. And so, what do you see sort of not went wrong, but what was the problems from the original design and purpose of Earth to what we have now?
People got too greedy. They wanted, instead of sharing the knowledge, they wanted to keep everything for themselves. A sense of being admired and adored. They stopped sharing and communicating and sharing and living in communities, and they started living in houses individually, lonely, and away from the help from the higher dimension and higher dimensional beings.
Mm. Okay, thank you. Was there anything else that sort of distracted humanity from their natural evolution? Sorry, I don't know if you heard my question, which was there anything else that happened to distract humanity?
Apart from greed and then wanting to be better.
Hmm. And is this what limited them or slowed down their evolution?
Yeah, everybody wanted to get out, wanted to get ahead of everybody else. So they wanted to be richer and they wanted to own people. So they forgot what they were here to do. So since they had a bit of the skill sets when they came here, they used that to overpower and use it um, for themselves in a greater way.
Hmm. So the souls who came here were already advanced and they wanted to experience the experiences of Earth, but they got distracted evolving back into higher dimensional beings and they enjoyed the Earth experience, or what else can
And
you?
they started looping into 3D world, and then eventually they couldn't go back.
Why couldn't they go
So
back?
because they were stuck in their ways. They got stuck here. They got stuck in the 3D looping. They couldn't see a way out.
Each time they exited and did their life review, do they get to choose to come back, or were they somehow stuck in that?
They could come back, but then when they came back, they were stuck in karma. They'd pick up more karma, and then they'd have to continue looping back to release the karma, but then they continued getting more karma.
Hmm. And is the planet more dense than, say, 500 years ago?
We've come a long way. The planet has come a long way. It does have its densities, but we've been helping it humanity
Mhm.
get
Okay.
get up there, lifting the vibration.
So would the planet be denser now than it was 500 years ago?
Yeah, with all the different things that people are watching and distracting themselves with.
Mhm. And is there a difference between the density of humanity as a collective? Is that denser than, say, 500 years ago or something else?
Well, the collective, it's they've progressed on, but they're dense in different ways. So they were denser back then in a different way, but now that they're more evolved and have higher vibrations, it seems like they're stuck in their density, um, in the dense ways. They don't want to evolve any further.
Mhm.
They're scared of the unknown.
So, for me to understand this, the planet's got more dense, but humanity as a collective is getting less dense.
Like yeah, the more it seems like they collectively everyone's in a higher frequency, but the planet's not as so the planet itself is dense, but the people, the inhabitants on the planet are of higher vibration
Mhm.
with all the infusion of the soul families,
Mhm.
the soul families help and infusing them with high vibrations.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. And so, because of the denser planet, but humanity growing more high frequency, what do you see is the results or the outcome for this? How does this continue on?
The inhabitants of Earth will eventually be shifted off to different planets. Some will go to 5D planets, some will go back home, back to source, some will go to other 3D planets. And Earth is just gonna, will need time to get fixed or see what can be done with it, but it won't be, people won't be able, things won't be able to live on that for a while.
Okay. Well, am I speaking to a subconscious or a higher self or something else?
Speaking to a higher self.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what dimension are you in?
No,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, lovely to chat to you. Um, Out of curiosity, um, what have you been doing to be able to help humanity and help this planet with this experience?
we've been providing lessons by supporting the people that have the soul family that we have on Earth. So by tripping them up and providing experiences in order for them to elevate their consciousness, and progress on so they can finally reach the destination that they set for themselves.
Okay. And in terms of your history with Earth, have you been supporting Earth the entire time or something else?
Yes, we'll be constantly supporting Earth and different planets, um, Earth and other planets.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how many aspects of you do you have higher self on Earth at this current, our perception of time?
Five.
Okay, fantastic. And from your perspective, are you able to see all timelines?
Yes.
Can you give me the best explanation of how you get to do that?
It's like a video game. When we've got five different players, we can foresee the different um, worlds that they're in. And so we can see, it's like being the watcher, and we can see what they're about to trip themselves up with and what is waiting for them at the end of the game.
Mhm. Okay. And how many times do you get to redo this game? Is that possible? Can you go backwards or restart it? What does that look like?
Not in Earth. It was the case that you could get killed in one lifetime and then re-loop into the same Earth, into the same world, but now you cannot come to Earth anymore. Everyone's experiencing their last lifetimes on Earth, and if you do die in this Earth, then you'll just have to move on to um, a higher dimension or a different dimension.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so why is that? What?
Because Earth is done. It's no more. Um, People can't reincarnate into this Earth. It's not. It's not going to be around for much longer. It's
What's
going to
going
be.
to what is going to be happening to it?
It's just going to be like it will need time to come together again to be as vibrant as it used to be. It can't be. Everything's poison now. If it wasn't for the higher dimension beings taking care of the water, of the air, humanity and other living beings wouldn't be able to live here. And so Earth is not going to be, and a, it's not going to be around for much longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so it needs healing.
Yes.
And in terms of, say, human years, how long would it take for this healing to take place?
I don't know if it's ever going to be able to be usable anymore. Maybe 2,000 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when it's healed, what's going to happen to it?
It will become another 3D planet if it is able to be healed, but I don't see that as a possibility.
Okay. Is there any timelines that it is a possibility?
What do you mean?
Do you see any possible timelines of the planet where you could see it be healed? So, say someone can reincarnate back onto it.
Not at this stage.
Um, okay. And so then what is this vehicle doing? After her shift, what happens?
She'll be going to the new earth, and she will be experiencing what she was supposed to experience in this earth,
Mhm.
which is sense of community and being able to use her other multidimensional self skill sets.
What are those
Um,
skill sets? Can you disclose that with us?
so she's a creator. She's been around for a long time. So she's been able to create different planets and help assist with Earth and different. So she's going to be able to do that with the new Earth, infuse her energy into the new Earth and have different skill sets and, in a way, teach people how to use the skill sets or work in a community in order to learn together.
Beautiful. And so, did she play a role in helping uh, create and design this planet, Earth, that she's on now?
Yeah, she did.
And what was her role in that if there was such a singularity of one role?
Trial and error,
Hmm.
seeing what could be used here, bringing um, things from different 3D planets and seeing if it was livable here, helping with the gases and alkalizing that. So there's a lot that she has been able to do.
Hmm. Okay, awesome. And so, is there anything else that she's doing to help with the new Earth planet?
She is assisting with the people that can't grasp that the new way of living, I guess, by being an example and showing them that it is possible to experience a life or live a life without any money and without structure, um, without any hierarchy. There's going to be a lot of high vibrational beings there, but some of them will miss the 3D living.
Hmm. Okay. And for some souls, is this going to be the first time that they've been in a fifth dimension when they get to New Earth?
For some souls, there will be, yes.
Hmm. Okay. Would those be the ones that are struggling with the adjustment of the way of living between the 3 and the 5D?
Yes, because I guess they were sold something or they thought that they were gonna be powerful in a 3D living, but um, things change and now they're no longer going to be able to follow their soul contracts or their life contracts in a 3D dense reality. So they will be doing it in a 5D reality, which is different to the density that one would experience in a 3D world.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so when people get to the new Earth, how will it be that they can remember all the other lifetimes that they've lived, say, on planet Earth? How does that happen?
Like there'll be a part of the Akashic records will be activated in them, and they'll be able to remember everything that they used to, all the lives that they used to have, because you're no longer bound by the veil. You're more open, and that's why you'll be able to communicate with departed beings and other beings in other realms. So that layer is going to be taken off.
Mhm. And so, how does it feel for a soul to then have all the memories? Um, is it suddenly given to them, or is it a gradual thing where they start recalling all the other lives so they lived in the 3D?
It's all going to be gradual. So everybody's going to have, take baby steps to get to where they need to be. And when they can handle more, a little bit more will be given to them. And they'll be able to access a different level of their multidimensional multidimensional self.
Mm-hmm. So they would take some time to get to know thyself at a more advanced rate of understanding what the soul has experienced on earth for all the lifetimes they've ever lived.
Correct. So whether it's only until they're ready to experience more, a little bit more will be given to them. But eventually, everybody's going to be able to remember all the lives that they've had.
Mm-hmm. And so there is a term here called the Grand Awakening, which we know is occurring as people are noticing um, how Earth's way of life is. Could you say that the completion of the Grand Awakening actually does occur on the new Earth when people are recalling all the experiences of Earth?
An aspect of it, I see it occurring there. But the Great Awakening is people realizing that what 3D living and all the structural changes that are coming, they'll realize that it no longer serves them. So we're in the process of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much. So, for this vehicle, what will be happening in her location before she shifts?
Location. It seems like it's going to be going to be a lot of flooding that takes place. And that's going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect everyone differently.
Do you, what causes this flooding?
There's man has been playing around with the weather systems that have been created different. They have created the rain in order to keep people small and for people to continuously look to the governments for help and in fear because people are relying less on the government as they waking up to the higher dimensional beings. So they realize that they're higher dimensional beings, so they don't need as much, and then they're staying away from the governments and going off into doing things for themselves, like off grid. And so the government wants to keep them small and wants to continue controlling them. And that's why these floods have been created. And these weather systems that nobody can pinpoint.
Okay, well, thank you. And so, what will she notice then, in terms of the length of time? how long will she have to prepare before she shifts, and how is this flooding going to impact her while she's still here?
It's going to be instantaneous for her. She won't have much time to think about it. It will just happen.
Okay. And so she'll just be living at her life as is at the moment, as the moment, and then just quite quickly situations will change where she will then shift.
Yes.
Mhm. Is there anything else you would like her to know about this?
Not at this stage.
Mhm. Okay. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. And so when she shifts, when will she notice that she's starting to merge into the crystalline body?
It's going to be a adjusting period. We did say to her that she was just going to shoot up, but she will see the destruction behind her
Mm.
and then move into the new dimension that she'll be joining.
I see. Okay. And so how will she feel when she has shifted and she is aware that she is now in her light body, carbon-based body? Is that what you'd want her to call it?
Her crystalline body
Yes. What would you call it? Subconscious or sorry, higher self?
will be like a rainbow body, like a crystalline body.
Fantastic.
It's like it's like the rainbow.
Beautiful.
Um,
And what will she notice different about it apart from the physical looks? How will it feel?
it's gonna feel lighter. She's not gonna feel as heavy and dense. And she'll be able to maneuver herself quicker.
Mhm. Okay, wonderful. And so then what happens next when she notices she's shifted? What does she do?
She finds her family. She finds, I guess, who she used to call her family. Because they will shift before her.
Mhm.
She'll realize that 3D living will just seem like a dream, like a nightmare.
Okay.
And that's how she sees it.
Is it still happening with her physical family, her earth family this lifetime is shifting before her then? What's the significance of them going before her?
She has to stay back and help people find the balance. She needs to stay in her balance and help people energetically by lending her energy out to them, whether it's physically or just energetically.
Mhm. Okay. And so in terms of our time, what would the difference between her family shifting and then her shifting? How long will she be there?
We see a month at this stage. We wanted to give it a time, even though there's no time.
Mhm. Yeah. What would you like her to prepare for herself when she's going through this?
Remember her training that she's been doing on how to stay in her center, knowing that She can infuse the water and release any density. She can ground herself on grass or on concrete, um, and stay and know that there's a higher purpose, and know that she's done this before, and that she will see her family again.
Okay. And what else would you like her to be focusing on or doing in this time where she is on? Would it be the old Earth? Would she be on the official old Earth timeline after her family shift?
She's going to be lending her ears, her hands, her person with the people that are going to be in despair, especially the religious people that will feel like they have been left, that God hasn't taken them with them.
Okay, so can you give me an event prior to her own personal shift happens where her family go, and this triggers those religious people to be aware that there's a bigger event where they weren't taken?
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
I see a light, a bright light that happens. And a lot of people disappear after it.
What is that bright light?
I feel like it's we're showing her an old school camera where you press down the flash and then the flash happens and then everything's different after it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so for those people who disappear, do they physically disappear, or where do they go? What can you help me understand about this?
Well, some people will just die, so there'll be a lot of dead bodies there. But other people will take the carcasses with them. That's a that's what they have put in there. That's what they wanted to experience.
So for those people who are missing, could you say, or those left over, so the missing after the flash would be suggesting that they're shifting to another 3D planet because they're taking their 3D bodies with them, or is this something else?
The ones that have chosen to take their bodies with them, or the ones that do take their bodies with them, they'll be being relocated to another 3D planet.
I see. I see.
That leave their carcasses here will
Okay.
just be to a 5D planet.
And so
Yeah.
for the people who have survived this, what will they understand about that flash? Why people have disappeared? How will this be able to be processed through their minds?
Aliens. Some of them are going to think it's aliens. Aliens have abducted the planet. A lot of inhabitants of the planets. Other people associate it with Jesus' second coming and the rapture.
So,
So other people think that Allah has come and taken the faithful ones. So it depends on the culture and
mhm. So
um,
the religious people that you were speaking of that are going to be upset. So would they assume that Jesus has come and then not been there with them, or what is their upset when they realize that they've been left behind or are still struggling?
it's some of them. Well, that's the main reason that they still go to church, because they're in fear of being left behind by the rapture, that Jesus isn't going to take them. And so that's why they continuously go to church in order to be the chosen ones and being taken, but their attitude and their inner work is lacking. Just because you're at a church doesn't mean that you're holy. If you're at a church and criticizing the people that don't go to church, then you're you're not doing anything there.
Mm-hmm. So, subconscious or higher self, why is religion okay and spirituality a taboo subject for a lot of the religious people?
I guess everybody's scared that they're going to go to hell if they follow spirituality, because that's what they've been told, that spirituality is the devil's work, and that if you follow something apart from what is said in the Bible, then you'll be condemned to hell, and the evil spirits are going to come and take your body, and the devil's and the demons are going to come and grab you, or take over you, which is not the case, but that's what the limiting thinking is within a church system, that you're meddling with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And the demons.
And so, can you contact higher dimensional beings above 3D and discover the devil?
Well, everyone's devil. Everybody has bad in them. Everybody can be a devil, and everybody can be an angel. So there's not what one person perceives as the one bad or naughty kid that's going to come and steal your soul away. It's the choices that you've made that I would classify as a devil, and some people, a lot of people in churches, they're scared of themselves, and they create things for themselves to be scared of, but it's not the devil's.
Mm-hmm. And so, when you connect in with anything beyond the third dimension, any high dimensional souls, are you saying that those souls could be the devil and the angel?
The 3D living person has the ability to be the devil and the angel. When you connect with other higher dimensional beings, these are the ones that you classify as angels, as God. You are God. So you can only contact your higher dimensional selves. So what you call angel, when you pray, you're contacting yourself. You're contacting your soul family. You're contacting your guides. You're contacting everybody that has said and is guiding you in your journey.
Mm-hmm. If we wanted to actively try and find a higher dimensional devil, is that possible? Is there such a thing?
No.
Mm-hmm. And so, how can we support those religious people that believe that higher dimensional beings are part of the devil's work?
I guess everybody needs to it would be good if people would let go of the fear that they have and get guidance from the teams to be open minded in order to allow these connections and to be guided easily on their life journey.
Thank you. If we are all other dimensional beings, if we're all ETs, this is how she's written the question. If we are all ETs, why are we scared of them?
We don't remember. Nobody remembers their ET lifestyle or the fact that they're part of source. Nobody remembers. It's that veil of forgetfulness that doesn't allow a humanoid to remember that they used to have different lifetimes in different planets, or else they would not concentrate on what they're supposed to be doing here.
Could it be said that for some physical bodies they look so, in human terms, monsterish, that if we did remember all the other lifetimes we would in a human form with a human mindset living here in the density of 3D, I don't know if this would empower. I think this would torment people into fear and shock, potentially. I mean, there's always others that appreciate that.
People are scared of the reflection in the mirror sometimes. So yes, definitely would and
Well,
disempower.
I would probably blame the full length mirrors and bad lighting, obviously. And that's
And the poor choices.
Not everyone's born a runner. Okay, well, thank you so much. And then another question she has is what can we do to connect to our teams, and why are some not able to?
Everyone's able to. They just block that part of themselves. They're too scared to connect in and find out that they made promises before they came here to help humanity. And what they're looking for now is just compensation for their time, compensation. They want to be rich. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be famous, but that's not in their life contracts.
Oh my gosh, yes, I can totally resonate with that. And so, why do they not want to connect into their teams? Is this because they don't want to be reminded of their responsibility, or is there something else?
They don't want to be reminded of their responsibility. And if they connect to their higher dimensional selves, their teams, they'll absolutely remind them and realize that this is not what they signed up for. They didn't sign up for fame. They didn't sign up to help. They signed up to help humanity, bring them into a higher dimension. They weren't
Um,
here. They weren't here to make themselves rich or famous.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you. And I mean, as you know, subconscious, the vehicle is a BQH and QHHT practitioner. And we were discussing how often would practitioners and should practitioners who conduct this work, how regularly should they be doing their own personal sessions as a client to see what is their inner work outstanding for them?
For her, we have told her to do it every month. Because, and not just to listen to the sessions that she's had to ask the questions, but actually apply the information that we give her. And I would suggest that everybody have regular sessions because things change all the time.
What information is she not applying from the last sessions to just to be able to remind her?
Well, she has contacted the interns that she was told to contact. And then we told her that she needed to put herself out there, but she's confused on the details. And
Mhm.
essentially, no matter how she does it, like she has given her lots of ideas as to how to do it and how to go about it, but her head is too much on the details. Just do it. Um, so
So,
whether it is another practitioner, if you wanted to ask them the questions as to how they came to find out about Dolores, and how they have gone in the spiritual journey, um, she could do that, or she could just talk about her life and how she has overcome so many different things in her life.
mm, yes. Yes, I think that would be very beneficial. But and so how would you like her to format that?
What she can do, like she can just talk about it. She talk about what she's got a podcast. She just never uses it, has never used it. She used it for because she got excited about the old shift to the new earth,
Mhm.
and she was gonna do it then, but then she chickened out of that, and she didn't know what to say. But
Well, what would you like her to say?
we want her to apply and express the knowledge that she has gained. So instead of it all being in her head, we want her to put it in a forum. It doesn't matter what it is, and just talk about it, whether it is a podcast or whether it is on YouTube. Just have her voice expressing what she knows. And it doesn't matter if it's in Spanish or English, it can be both, just to get the information out there, because there's so many people starved for this information, and she needs to put something out there.
Mhm. Content.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. I know she wanted specifics. So is there any more details that you can tell her that's going to be the most beneficial?
Well, she's translating the books.
Mhm.
It's translated two. Now she's on the third. How about that information? Collate that information that's very advanced and very high vibrational. Collate them into her own words and put them out there. How about that?
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Is there any way that I can help assist her or support her subconscious? What do you want me to do?
At this point, she needs to do it for herself. She needs to get a kick up the butt and just do it.
Well,
But holding space for her right now, and all the information that you have provided for her, and the experiences she has also learned from that as well. So
mhm.
you have been of service to her in that way. So thank you.
But I will honor the kick up the bum. You'll anything for humanity. I'm here for it. Okay, thank you. um, I love that. Okay, thank you so much. And then another question that she had was why are we so good at giving our power away to others and not taking responsibility for ourselves?
Because nobody wants fingers being pointed at them saying, well, you said. And so if somebody else told you, then you're happy to say, oh yeah, someone else told me this, let's say a medium. A medium contacted my dead uncle and told me that I needed to do this for myself. But you don't want to connect with your team and say, my team have told me to do this, or I have been inspired to do this. And so it's easier. You've been conditioned to give your power away, and say that somebody told you to do it, because then it doesn't show accountability. You're not being accountable for what you do, even though deep down you know that that's you choosing that experience.
Thank you.
So
Okay. Sorry.
conditioning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I understand. Another question she has is finding QHHT and BQH or other modalities a way of humanity to grow in their spiritual journey?
Yes. So it's like a ruse. It's like we're holding you accountable for your actions, and you yourself are holding yourself accountable, because with this work you strive to do better. And if you're not getting the information, then you try different ways as to how to get there. For her, she started the training, and she's like at a different level now than where she was when she started. She's grown a lot from it, and the pieces of information that she's has been getting in sessions and have helped her grow, and helped her connect with um, other aspects of herself. So with different practitioners finding this work or finding other avenues, they get to grow and they get to hold themselves accountable, because they realize that there's people watching them. Their teams are watching them, and they can ask and channel for themselves, and get the biggest perspective as to, and not to forget that you are being watched.
Thank you. For those practitioners that may not have that moral compass or approach to this work and they are being watched, is there practitioners that may not have the best intentions or integrity for humanity or this work?
There is,
Why is
but
that?
the information that they're getting is limited and it's capped. They're not getting the bigger information, because they can't handle the bigger information, and they do nothing with it. So it's keeping them at a level, in a way, accountable for their actions, but they're going to have to learn those lessons a harder way.
And so, could they be impacting their clients with this approach?
They can, but everybody's got free will. Everybody has they make their own choices. So if a client is researching the different practitioners that they could have a session with, something in them aligns them to be the perfect fit for this practitioner. So whether it's a life lesson that they need to learn, contract that they might have, that they need to find each other and pay a debt off. So there's different things that could happen. This people are finding the perfect shoe as for the experiences that they need to have.
Mhm. So even what we may classify as a failed session is actually purposeful and significant. Mhm. Okay, well, that's helpful. That's fantastic. Is there any other information that you have to share with us publicly today?
Time is limited in this earth, and make the most of it. Enjoy the air outside, even if you do know that it's poisonous. Enjoy the walks around the park. Enjoy the trees. Enjoy the birds. Enjoy the earth experience. Enjoy your bodies, because you will not be here much longer.
And when you say that subconscious, are you meaning decades, years? What would you like us to know in terms of a reference point of what you're suggesting to us about the shift being soon?
People are shifting every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that might not even finish the day. There's people that might not, that will go tomorrow, that will go next week. So it depends as to what it means for their life.
Absolutely. Thank you. And so in terms of her location, and what you're foreseeing with her family shifting, is that going to be this year or something else?
This year.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. And we can trust if she wants more support, she will know how to have more sessions. And I appreciate all the information you've given us publicly today. We do appreciate that. And I do thank and honor the vehicle for this session today.